Now let's look at the Maldives, India's island neighbor in the Indian Ocean. Indo-Maldivian ties have been frosty of late because of the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu. He came to power last November on the back of an anti-India campaign called India Out. But in about 1 year, that platform has proved to be unsustainable. So it looks like Muizzu wants to reset ties. Yesterday, his spokesperson made an announcement. Muizzu is about to visit India. He'll be in New Delhi, and I'm quoting, he'll be here very soon. Apparently, the dates are being finalized. It could be as soon as next week. The visit was not the only thing that was announced yesterday, though. The Maldivian government also said that 2 officials had resigned, 2 deputy ministers in their youth ministry, Malé Sharif and Mariam Shiuna. Some Indians may be familiar with those names. A few months back, they were trending on social media. These 2 ministers caused an uproar in January this year when they insulted India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Modi was on a visit to Lakshadweep. It's an Indian Union territory in the Indian Ocean, located just north of the Maldives. Modi was there to promote the islands as a tourism destination. And the Maldivian ministers did not like that. Perhaps they felt threatened or they were just bitter. Either way, they lashed out and made derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Modi. Their actions set off a storm. A campaign began in India to boycott the Maldives as a holiday destination. This move was extremely effective because the Maldives depends on its tourism industry, and India was the largest source of tourists at the time. The boycott campaign had an immediate effect. The 2 ministers I mentioned, Malé Sharif and Mariam Shiuna, were suspended immediately, along with the 3rd deputy minister, Abdullah Mazoom Majid. Now, Shiuna and Malé have been sacked. They say they resigned for personal reasons. But the timing is certainly interesting. It comes just days ahead of Muizzu's trip to India, which is quite the coincidence. The 3rd offender, Abdullah Mazoom Majid, is reportedly still around. Let's see how long that lasts. But this can be viewed as a small victory for India. So how did New Delhi pull this off? How come the erstwhile anti-India Muizzu is visiting India and sacking his problematic ministers to boot? Well, it did not happen overnight. New Delhi seems to have been playing the long game here, working behind the scenes to normalize ties with Malé. Let's look at the events of this week. Yesterday, India welcomed this man, the Maldivian Minister of Construction and Infrastructure, for a meeting about the ongoing Malé Bridge project. It's worth about $500 million. And all that money has come from India, $500 million, in the form of credit and a grant. The Malé Bridge is one of the biggest connectivity projects in the Maldives. It's about halfway done. It's expected to be finished by 2026. India made sure to keep this project going despite animosity and abuse from the Maldives. And this professionalism seems to have paid off. Perhaps it knocked some sense into Malé, reminding them who their true friends and trusted partners really are. And speaking of partners, another event took place this week. The 5th Maldives-India Defence Cooperation Dialogue. Both countries agreed to strengthen defence ties and enhance cooperation. This is a far cry from Muizzu's initial tone. He came to power promising to expel Indian troops from the Maldives, troops who were just there to help with search and rescue operations. He actually did expel them in the month of May. But what next? Perhaps Muizzu realized that his India Out plan was not sustainable. Or perhaps India's diplomatic outreach finally showed him the light. He went on to attend Prime Minister Modi's swearing-in ceremony in June this year, and now he's about to come for his first official visit. It is a turnaround in ties, which may or may not be more than what he deserves. But New Delhi always tries to get along with its neighbors, so this seems like an extension of India's neighborhood-first policy.